This is ABC15 Mornings.
Extreme heat gripping parts of the nation.
It feels like Armageddon. It really does.
Rain falls in parts of Arizona with a chance of storms in the forecast.
Only on ABC15 Mornings.
They said there are some rodents.
Rats infest a storage unit, ruining one man's belongings. But who is responsible for all the damage?
Could COVID cases spike this fall?
If you think that, oh, I had COVID and I don't need to get the vaccine, well, actually getting the vaccine can increase your antibody level by 10 times.
We look at what's ahead with an ABC15 Health Insider report.
Plus, rising prices now reducing the amount of a product you get.
And closing out the Clippers, is tonight the night the Suns clinch a spot in the NBA Finals?
Well, Craig Fouie gave us his odds a little earlier. We'll be talking about that. Big question this morning, can they do it tonight? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, excited for that. Craig Fouie is in LA. He'll be at Staples Center live tonight. Excited for that.
Yes.
Before we get to your Suns coverage, let's talk about your most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Iris Hermosillo is joining us right now, and she always has her eyes to the sky. That's always a safe bet.
That's absolutely true. That's what I do, right? Watch the sky, watch conditions, and watch our forecast too to keep you updated ahead of what we're looking at here. And today, you've got to keep an eye out for storms that could develop later on. Right now, though, mostly clear skies, although hard to see those clear skies when we've got that smoky haze once again across the Phoenix area. So another hazy start. Should see that smoke kind of mix out as we heat up through the day today. But we're going to be watching for storms. Again, watching and waiting. That's the name of the game here in the Valley, as those storms not guaranteed, but there's a potential of them. And we've got the potential for strong winds and dust, some areas of heavy rain too. And the concern is, of course, especially over our wildfire burn scars once again today. Temperatures running slightly below normal still too. And in fact, today is almost going to be a repeat of yesterday. It's warm now at 90 degrees. We'll climb to a high of 105. Yesterday's high temperature too, with that chance for showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. I'm going to show you the latest Futurecast data, and we'll talk timing on that storm potential in just minutes. But Megan Thompson is back and joining us with an update on that morning drive.
Hi, Iris. I missed all of you, so happy Wednesday to you. Yes, I'm taking a look at the roads for you. No crashes on Valley freeways, but one crash off the freeway. I want to keep you posted on it. I know our Mark Thompson will give us some more details on in just a moment. We have a crash involving police at 27th Ave and Bethany Home Roads, so that'll impact you if you're trying to get on the I-17. So pretty easy alternate for you. Go to the north potentially and go to Glendale, or go to the south to Camelback to get on the I-17 there. As we take a wider look at the maps and Valley freeways, the 60 and the 202s looking great in the East Valley, the 51, the 101, and the 17 giving us green conditions. One other crash off the freeway, 51st Avenue in Missouri, right there near Grand Avenue, and speeds, of course, getting slower as you're approaching the stack and along the Durango curve. Kaylee?
Okay, thank you very much, Megan. Appreciate that. A serious crash sending 4 people to the hospital, 2 of them Phoenix police officers. And my goodness, as we show you all of this damage, you can see the patrol SUV hard to recognize after the crash.
Mark Thompson is live near the scene at 27th Avenue and Bethany Home there. Mark, what's the latest on the conditions of those officers?
Good morning to you, Nick. I'll get to their conditions in just a little bit. But first, I want to show you this is still an active scene out here this morning, and an awful one at that. Look at these live images. You can see the police SUV and that white truck and the aftermath from this horrific crash. 4 people admitted to the hospital, 2 of them police officers, and they are all listed in serious condition this morning. Again, the aftermath from this scene overnight. This crash happened just before 11 p.m. at the intersection of 27th Avenue and Bethany Home. Police tell us that that white truck ended up hitting another car that was making a turn at the intersection. That's what sent that white truck flying into oncoming traffic, and then it hit the police SUV. A couple of the victims in this crash had to be extricated from the vehicle. They were all treated at the scene before being taken to local trauma centers. We're told that inside that white truck were a 40-year-old man and 20-year-old female. We do not have the ages of those police officers yet at this time. The good news in all of this, everyone is expected to survive.
Our officers were one of 3 vehicles that were involved in that collision. 2 of our officers have been transported to the hospital. Their injuries are not life-threatening, but they are being admitted in the hospital. And luckily, we are very fortunate that they were not seriously injured.
Yes, very, very fortunate that this didn't turn out a lot worse, as you can see from the live pictures here this morning. This investigation, it is still ongoing at this time, so police, they are still out here on scene, and we will get you the very latest on any details when it comes to impairment or speed, but right now police still sorting out all of the details this morning. Reporting live, Mark Thompson, ABC15 Arizona. I'll send it back to you.
Mark, thank you. 6:05 this morning, police are investigating an officer-involved shooting. This happened just a few hours ago at a home near 7th Avenue and Indian School. Police say they were responding to a break-in call. When they got there, the front door was open. This is a live image from the scene. You can see police tape still blocking this area off. Police claim that they identified themselves and called for someone to come outside. At that point, a man with a gun reportedly walked out and fired at police. Police returned fire, hitting that man. We know that he was turned out to be the homeowner and was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No police officers were injured.
Lori Daybell, the mom accused in the deaths of her own children, now indicted by a grand jury in Maricopa County for conspiracy to commit murder of her ex-husband. Charles Vallow was shot and killed by Lori's brother, Alex Cox. That was 2019. Cox told police it was self-defense. He later died that year from a blood clot. Now, a grand jury revealing there's evidence that points to planning between Lori and Alex. In May, Daybell and her current husband, Chad, were charged in the deaths of her 2 kids who had been missing longer than a year.
Where were they with the evidence? Because I think clearly the focus for a number of years, and rightly so, were on the 2 children.
Lori recently deemed mentally incompetent to stand trial, but Maricopa Superior Court will likely reevaluate her and make a separate determination.
Today, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff will be in the Valley encouraging people to get their COVID shot. They'll visit Isaac Middle School in West Phoenix, a zip code where only 30% of people have received at least the first dose. The district has organized 5 vaccination clinics in an effort to make the process more accessible.
The trusting is why we have put a lot of effort into the communication, and not just mass communication, but really the one-on-one.
Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego and State Health Director Dr. Kara Chris will also be on hand for this visit from Dr. Jill Biden and Doug Emhoff.
Well, at the start of the pandemic, there was a push for plasma donations from people who had recovered from COVID. This was to help those who had been hospitalized with the virus. As more people get vaccinated, what happens to that plasma supply? Our Nohelani Graf digging deeper with our health insiders.
In theory, there would be less plasma to go around if fewer people are getting sick. So I asked our health insider, Dr. Shad Marvasti, if we could see a plasma shortage or if people who've been vaccinated for COVID-19 should be donating. And his answer was surprising. Plasma may not be the gold standard for treatment anymore.
Plasma has actually been fallen out of favor as a real mainstay of therapy. It really isn't used as commonly because it just hasn't been shown to be as effective as some of these other agents.
On that note, those who have recovered from COVID-19 still have antibodies, but for how long? And do they really need to get vaccinated?
People who have natural immunity, we know that they have antibodies detectable for at least 3 months, perhaps longer. So if you think that, oh, I had COVID and I don't need to get the vaccine, well, actually getting the vaccine can increase your antibody level by 10 times and can probably extend your immunity.
The vaccine should provide antibodies for 6 months to a year. That's all being studied right now. We could have those answers by the fall. In the meantime, Dr. Shad tells me there is concern that our COVID case numbers could rise again in the fall if those who recovered from the virus don't get vaccinated and extend their immunity. For your Health Insider, I'm Nohelani Graf, ABC15 Arizona.
Well, today, the final day of the Phoenix Suns Phoenix Mercury Vaccinate the Valley Clinic. This is right outside Phoenix Suns Arena from 2 to 7. Anyone can get a shot. One person is also going to be winning some autographed Suns merch.
We are less than 12 hours from tip-off in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. Tonight, the Suns could punch their ticket to the NBA Finals.
That alone will give you chills, right? This is exciting. The team in Los Angeles for Game 6 against the Clippers tonight, and we lead the series 3-2. Tonight, we're hoping to get off to a better start than we saw Monday night when the team was down nearly the entire game. Although going into halftime, that was really fun to watch that sinker by D-Book. Chris Paul looking for a big game there at the Staples Center, which he called home for 6 seasons of his career.
And coming up in our next half hour, the ABC 15 sports team with a preview and prediction for tonight. Our Craig Fouie, he's going to be in LA, and also he's going to give his prediction and his thoughts, as will our Colin Harmon. Those two, they know the sport inside out. So we're ready to see what they have to say, gentlemen. Okay, always read the lease agreement. Next on ABC 15 Mornings, Joe Ducey with a warning for everybody after one man loses some pricey belongings because of a rat infestation.
And, you know, you think back, right? I think a lot of us think, oh, yeah, we hear this. More than 25 years ago, Amazon, it was a website known for selling books. A lot has changed since then. Ahead, how the company's products, so many of them, can help you teach your kids how to read.
613, a Valley man says rats invaded his storage unit in Phoenix, and he wants the facility to pay for the damage to his belongings.
But all new for you this morning, the Let Joe Know team sharing the fine print details that the owners say prevents them from being responsible.
A Valley man says he wants a Phoenix storage facility to pay up and take care of the belongings he says were damaged by rats.
They said there are some rodents.
It was a phone call Mark did not expect.
Also, there is a smell in the storage unit, strange smell, like something it's decomposed or something.
He hired a company to move his belongings from Arizona Storage Inns at 16th Street and Baseline Road to his new home. He says when the movers got there, many of his big ticket items were destroyed. Inside a box spring mattress, a rat's nest, stains from the animal everywhere, and inside a packed box, an actual rat that had died.
It was filthy and disgusting.
He says when he reached out to management, he was told there was nothing they were going to do.
He said that's normal. If I'm thinking that they get responsible for it, I'm some kind of lunatic or something.
We followed up with Arizona Storage Inns, and we were told they sympathize with Mark and the loss and damage of his items, but we do not feel we should be held liable or responsible for the damage to his items or even the fact the rodents entered the property. They say in most cases, rodent activity is brought into the site by a customer. It could have been Mark or another customer, or they could have come under a gate or over the fence. They say they've gotten no other complaints. And they say Mark should review the lease agreement he signed, which releases them of responsibility.
Basically, everything is on me in this contract.
While Mark still feels they are responsible, it is an important reminder to read the details in your contract. And if you're planning to store, protect yourself. Read reviews for the facility you choose. Tour the unit before you agree to rent. Look for signs of pests or other potential hazards. And purchase an insurance policy that covers your belongings in case of fire, water, or pest damage. Go to abc15.com/letjoeknow for all the ways to protect your money. I'm investigator Joe Ducey. If you got a problem, let me know.
You know, my husband gives me a hard time about it sometimes, but I always read the contracts thoroughly, and I think it's because of Joe's advice, right? An important reminder that's something that we've got to do. Hey, as we talk about your most accurate forecast, it's a little bit of a warm start this morning. Only 90 degrees in Phoenix. We've got 80s across much of the valley, but again, a little warm here in the Phoenix area. Dew points climbing, but just slowly. So they're not too high. It's not going to be muggy when you step outside, but you might start to notice a little bit of an uptick in humidity as we go through the day today. Right now, our dew point sitting at 56 degrees. Remember, that helps us determine how much moisture there is in the atmosphere. And once those dew points start to climb above 55 degrees, we start to see or feel rather a little bit more of that humidity in the air. Again, not muggy, not oppressive, not too thick, but just slightly humid. And today, I think those dew points are going to range from the mid to upper 50s here as we head into this afternoon. And of course, we need a little bit more moisture for storm chances, right? There's a chance for storms in the valley, but it's going to be more of a wait and see kind of day again, like it has been the last last couple days. Now this morning we are waking up to some thunderstorms on desert Doppler radar, mainly east and southeast of the Kingman area. These storms initially developed right near the Hualapai Mountains, and you're noticing now that they're expanding a little further to the north, just north of I-40, but essentially moving east right along I-40, producing a lot of lightning strikes in that area and some pockets of heavy rain. It's getting even more active across northwestern Mojave County with more lightning strikes there, and those storms, if they hold together, will continue to track towards the east, towards the Grand Canyon. Not much happening in central Arizona now. We did have some showers and more cloud cover, even a few thunderstorms in western La Paz County, right near our California border along the I-10. Those quickly fading away, and so the clouds not quite even making it into the valley yet either, and I don't think they will. We'll stay dry through the morning with sunny, clear skies, but then this afternoon, a chance for thunderstorms. And in fact, as you look at that storm risk across the state today, we're essentially in that general risk today across Arizona. The severe risk is lower today across our state, but just general thunderstorms that could produce strong winds, dangerous lightning, along with the threat for some heavier rainfall with some of these thunderstorms. So here's what we're going to watch for. Those storms in northern Arizona continue to expand further to the east, and eventually by the early afternoon, here's about 1 o'clock. So we're talking lunchtime into the early afternoon. We start to see more of those storms along the rim from the Grand Canyon to Sedona to Payson to Heber, Globe, and of course we've got some burn scars we've got to watch for here east of the valley and also to the northeast of the Phoenix area, where we could see some pockets of heavier rain. Then as I keep fast forwarding, you're going to see some pops of green here in the valley. Again, we're going to watch and wait to see if any of those storms to our north help trigger storms here in the valley, and the potential is there, and it's there in time for that evening drive. I think between about 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. is our window of time to watch for those thunderstorms here in the Phoenix area. So be on alert for that, and also prepare for what's going to be another hot day. Again, 90 degrees right now in Phoenix. It's 82 in Casa Grande, 85 at Lake Havasu, 70 in Sedona. Here's how temperatures and rain chances shape up for us today in the Phoenix area. We'll be in the hundreds by the early afternoon, a high of 105, essentially a repeat of yesterday's high temperature, and in the hundreds through about 6 p.m. Then highs around the state near 109 at Lake Havasu, 92 in Sedona, with 70s and 80s from Flagstaff to Show Low. Temperatures will be very consistent the next few days, essentially hovering right around 105 through the end of the week, with daily storm chances in that scattered range through the holiday weekend, and then getting a little hotter too. 4th of July puts us at 107 degrees.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
Thanks, Iris. I'm Megan Thompson, tracking traffic for you this morning. Before you head out the door, here's what you need to know. Wide look at the map shows pretty good conditions for us on a Wednesday morning. A really nice start to hump day as we take a look in the East Valley, checking those desert drive times for you. On the US 60 westbound from the 202 to the 10, you are looking great. No issues on the 60 or even both the 202, Santan and Red Mountain. South Mountain also looking good at this point, and the 10 here near Ahwatukee. As we look at some of those speeds where we're seeing that slowing on the I-10 eastbound, pretty normal for this time of the morning. In the West Valley, 42 miles per hour, getting closer to the stack, right around 44 miles per hour and 16 miles per hour along the Durango curve. For your desert drive time on the I-17 southbound from the 101 to the stack, you're looking great still at or above 65 miles per hour, Nick.
Megan, thank you. LA no longer has the worst traffic in the country. That honor now goes to the Big Apple, New York City, ranking #1 on the annual report from Texas A&M. They look at time stuck in gridlock and extra fuel consumption. This is from 2020. Researchers say the pandemic reduced overall traffic in LA, and they predict that working from home could keep that trend going. That Valley ranking was 44th on the list, our ranking, I should say. Last year, drivers spent 25 hours here in the Valley stuck in traffic. So that's a whole day wasted in traffic.
Lot of time,
on the
right?
10, the 51, the 202.
Side streets and the like,
You name
yes. Hey, today, Cartwright Elementary School District will get its first electric school bus. The district in Maryvale is also the first in our state to go electric. The Bluebird school bus is 0 emissions, and the district says it's also cheaper and easier to maintain. Virtual assistants, we know they can do a lot of things, right? Well, now Alexa can help our kids learn how to read. Amazon's new feature, Reading Sidekick, will take turns with your kids reading a book. You do need a subscription to Amazon Kids Plus to use it. Alexa will even offer those encouraging words like amazing job. That's so awesome. Hey, coming up on your bulletin board this morning, nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy. Easier said than done, right? Well, We're going to look at the science behind making yourself feel better.
Plus history, culture, culinary options, and a whole lot more. Another sign this morning that things are starting to get back to normal.
Excited to share this with you on this Wednesday morning. If you're tired of feeling run down, anxious, or overwhelmed, there are ways to find your happy place and then live in that space longer than this moment. That's on today's bulletin board. Happiness is a choice, and there's proof of this. The Journal of Happiness Studies show, and yes, that's a for real publication, show just 40% of our happiness is based on genetics. The other 60%, that's up to us. The study goes on to say it's completely possible to rewire our brains for happiness. It's really no different than deciding what to wear or what to order for lunch. When it comes to happiness, there's a lot we can do about it, including abandoning that pursuit of perfection, volunteering maybe to help others, finding reasons to laugh and feel grateful. I do the Snapchat thing, those filters, right? They kind of bring you up out of a funk, and they're funny. Eating well and being spontaneous. Even short-term bursts of feeling good can lead to peace of mind and a better quality of life. Just some food for thought on today's bulletin board.
I like that. An attitude of gratitude goes a long way.
Yes.
The pandemic really made us realize where you live matters when it comes to your health and safety. So what are the healthiest communities in America? The new rankings from U.S. News and Aetna put Los Alamos County, New Mexico at the top of the list. This is based on factors like health insurance, also mental health scores and access to health care. Yavapai County was the highest ranked county in Arizona, coming in at number 478 on the list. Get ready to say Opa! Organizers for the Phoenix Re Festival announcing they will be back this fall and celebrating the event's 60th anniversary. The festival was canceled last year because of the pandemic. The three-day event will run from October 8th to the 10th. It's one of the oldest and largest cultural festivals in the entire state.
Okay, yeah, lots to look forward to there. Up next at 6:30 here on ABC 15 Mornings, it's go time, baby. Tonight, ABC 15 will be there, sending a team to Los Angeles for a game we will all be watching. What the Phoenix Suns need to do so that we can be celebrating this time tomorrow.
Plus, will it become a permanent part of a post-pandemic world? Why we are now paying the same for less.